Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have an unboxing video for you. We are going to be taking a look at this Revell 1970 Pontiac Firebird in 1/24 scale. Skill level 4, 83 parts. It says new here on the side of the box, on the side of the box top there. I'm not sure this is an all new kit. I think this was probably released as a monogram kit at some point in its past history. Not sure, but I think that was probably the case. Also, I've got a question about the title of it. 1970 Pontiac Firebird. I've done a little bit of research. I'm not a muscle car expert by any means, but I'm pretty sure what we've got here is a Trans Am. So the Firebird had a couple of sort of large intakes on the front of the hood here. What we appear to have here is some sort of shaker hood, which I think makes this a Trans Am, but they're not naming it as such on the box. So on the box, what have we got? We've got an illustration of the real car driving on a road somewhere. One thing that strikes me is we seem to have a stock steel wheel here and tyre, and then what appears to be a larger custom wheel on the back. I don't know if that's intentional or if it's just a weird sort of illusion in the illustration. Anyway, let's have a look at the rest of the box. Same illustration here, and on the box end, same here, and then we turn it over. This is the end flap style box. Turn it over, and that's great. We've got some photographs of the real built model, which I really appreciate seeing on a model box. It looks like a nice detailed engine bay with that shaker style hood sitting on top there. I don't know if Pontiac called it a shaker hood, don't know. It does say Trans Am on the tail panel there, so okay, that clears up that mystery. Yeah, looking pretty nice, really looking quite nice. Got a basic paint colour guide there as well, and I love this. If you watch my videos, you'll know how much I like to see. Officially licensed by GM, and there's a QR code there. I will scan that later. I could have won, who knows, untold wealth and riches. Right, let's take a look in this box and see what comes. So we've got a nice looking instruction sheet, colour instruction sheet, kind of, and decals. We'll save those for later. And then we've got a poly bag with everything else in. In fact, I think what we probably actually have here is a poly bag full of poly bags. Let's get this open and we'll find out what the deal is there. It's pretty packed full. It says 83 parts on the box there. Feels certainly like at least 83. Right, let's get in here. Hey, look at this. Okay, we've got quite a bit going on in here. I didn't see anything on the box cover about optional parts or different versions, but it looks as if we probably have got some options in here. Interesting. Right, wrestling these out. Okay, so start off with the body shell. Not quite a one-piece body shell. We've got a separate tail panel and rear valance or gravel pan to go in the back there, I would say, and then we'll have that distinctive Pontiac nose to go on the front there. That must be a separate piece. Otherwise, quite liking the look of this body shell. I'm not going to comment on the overall accuracy of the shape. It looks right to me. There are probably Trans Am experts out there who could say better than me whether or not it is exactly accurate. I think I'm right in saying that this basic body would also have been the basis for the Camaro at the time as well. I think I'm right in saying that. The 70 Camaro would have shared a lot of at least the underlying structure and panels, possibly some of the exterior panels as well, I'm not sure. Not liking that too much. Look, we've got some crushing going on there. The A-pillars there are bowing outwards. In fact, there are white stress marks in the plastic showing that it's been slightly crushed. Not a big surprise with that slender A-pillar design, but disappointing all the same. Sad to see that. Otherwise, not really seeing any injection sink marks or seam lines, or nothing major anyway. Not really anything like that at all. Pretty clean. Bit of a shame about those A-pillars though. Right, what else comes in there? We've got a set of big, wide, modern looking tyres with a good tread pattern on. No sidewall detail to speak of. They appear to be a custom option. We then have, oh, this is looking really good. This is looking very good. We have a set of printed Firestone wide oval tyres. Look at that with the printed sidewall details. And a nice tread pattern as well. They look good, don't they? Look at that. They're going to look really smart. I love it. Okay, up next we have some chrome, and that chrome is a set of custom wheel faces with the wheel backs to go with them. So again, making the assumption here, and it seems to be correct, that those go with those bigger style tyres that we saw a moment ago. Not normally my cup of tea, that sort of thing, those sort of rims, I must admit. I'm just thinking they could look quite smart, done up in a sort of pro touring style. Maybe give them a nice charcoal grey or black colouring, or maybe colour the spokes. Don't know if I'll use those or not. I'm thinking not at the moment, but let's see. Okay, what else do we get? We have a bigger chrome tree this time, with what I assume is the rest of the chrome. So we've got quite a nice looking Pontiac front grille there, with chrome headlamp cans and the lower front lights there as part of that moulding. It looks to me as though perhaps we have a plastic piece that fits over that, which would be the body coloured nose cone. Was that an Enduro nose cone in 1970? A deformable synthetic nose cone? I think it probably was. Rear bumper, looking nice. A set of what I take to be the original style wheels, which are going to look super nice on those pad printed Firestone tyres. And then we've got cam covers, exhaust tailpipes, I think they're mirror glasses, a couple of other bits. That's pretty much it for the chrome. We have here, look at that, clear red tail lamp lenses. They're going to look good as well. Yeah. Excellent. Right, we have, okay, the glazing. I'm not going to take this out. I'll prefer to leave the glazing packaged up. There's not much going on. I can see two headlamp lenses there. And then which way around does this go? Windshield, rear screen. Good, okay. And then everything else in this last poly bag. This is where we find the meat and potatoes of the kit. So, kicking off the hood. Nice bonnet there with space for the shaker hood to peep out. Rear tail spoiler, reasserting its Trans Am status. Yeah, there's that front nose cone into which the chrome inner piece will fit that we saw a moment ago. That's all looking pretty good. Again, quite a clean moulding there. Oops. Up next we have, what have we got here? Okay, that is the rear tail panel. Yep, so that's the rear tail panel. Space is there, I assume, for those clear tail lenses to go. We've then got a relatively simple looking exhaust, rear suspension and rear axle setup. I've got a transverse silencer for both exhausts. That's interesting. Didn't know Trans Ams were like that. Front steering suspension gear represented fairly simply. Steering wheel, surprisingly small steering wheel. Maybe that was the fashion at the time. And a radiator with a shroud there. Okay, up next we've got this one-piece chassis, base plate there with some details moulded in, gas tank moulded in, front subframe here, and a cross member presumably for the transmission to sit on. That presumably is the lower half of that shaker hood. I'm not too sure, possibly. And then bucket seats, front bucket seats, and the backs of those seats as well. Good. Right. And the final frame, the final sprue, one-piece interior tub. So we've got a detailed centre console there, the rear seat moulded in. Very low relief side panel detail there. So we shouldn't expect too much there, but I think it'll look fine when it's done. What else is on this frame? It's the rest of the engine components. So yeah, inlet manifold, carb, heads, belt and pulley assembly, distributor, engine and transmission halves. That's the rest of the shaker hood, I'd guess there. Fan, coolant hose, bullet-shaped side mirrors, which are really cool. Okay, we've got the remaining bit of the drivetrain there. And the dashboard, which has got reasonably good cast-in detail. So it could be detail painted. However, if Revell follow suit with what they've done with other recent kit re-releases, they all provide us with some decals to do that job. So, let's have a look at the decals next. Usual safety info sheet there. Okay, quite a bit on the decal sheet. Quite a lot going on. We've got all sorts of things. So the first thing that grabs my attention, the stripes, which the box art shows would be used to reproduce this colour scheme, potentially other colour schemes as well. I'm fairly sure these were famous for being offered in white with a blue stripe over the hood and roof. So those appear to be options. I don't know what other colours Trans Am would come in, but you could be creative. You know, you could probably look quite good in red with the white stripes, or all sorts of different options. Okay, what have we got there? Oh, Trans Am, so is that for the rear end? Not sure where that goes. Instructions will tell us though. We've got seatbelt decals, which I guess can just be draped onto the seats to replicate or to represent decals. A couple of different coloured Trans Am scripts there. Ram Air 4, I think that says 455 HO high output. Okay, we probably have those in white as well as black, so they'll stand out against whatever colour scheme you choose. And then a load of detailed decals. I really like the look of this. I'm seeing what look like engine bay and engine component decals, instrument decals there running along the top. The sort of metal looking, turned aluminium looking instrument panel finish is a decal. You've got what appears to be the surround for the gear shift there. That's also a decal. I think these would be front and rear side marker lights. They're decals. Probably wheel centre decals, window winder crank decals, perhaps. We've got a Pontiac decal. There's a lot there. I like that. That's going to really detail up nicely. Decals. So we've also got, interestingly enough, we've got Firestone wide oval tyre decals, which are not easy to see for you, but they're there. And these decals for the wheel spokes, I guess, as well. And then in typical Revell style, a load of different number plates from different countries to look at there as well. By the looks of it, China, Italy, Netherlands, US, Britain. That doesn't look like the right format plate for 1970, but anyway, Austria, France, another US option. What have we got? We've got Illinois and Florida US options, and then Germany and Belgium as well. That's really cool, actually. I like the idea of a Belgian Trans Am. That's quite interesting. Okay, so the instructions, right, illustration of the built-up model, or rather a photograph of the built-up model on the front. That's a good start. Into the book, we have the usual hints and tips, do's and don'ts, if, ands, buts, whys and wherefores. Okay, we have then a paint colour guide, so this is where we take our paint cues from in the instructions. Quite a bit there. And we've got a part diagram as well over 2 pages, which is useful in my experience. So straight into the instructions, they start us off with the wheels and tyres, and we do have 2 different options there. Yep, in fact we've got some. In fact, with the custom wheels, we've even got some different options there as well. That's interesting. Okay, we have the engine then going together in fairly standard sequence. Halves go together, heads and cam covers go on. Inlet manifold goes on together with the carb. Some sort of plate under the carb there on top of the carb as well, probably for that shaker system that we've seen, the hood scoop. And front of engine details go on. We are then into assembling the front end. That goes on. Rear end goes together, goes on the chassis base plate. Engine drops in on the front. Chrome tailpipes go on to the exhausts. Rear wheels are on at that point. And then this details the placement of the numerous decals on the instrument panel and steering wheel boss as well. That's great. Good painting guide there for the interior tub, also helpfully showing you what to paint the underside, so I presume that's going to be visible potentially from underneath the car or even inside the engine bay. What I thought were stripes for the outside are actually mats, Trans Am floor mats, decals. That's pretty cool, I like that. Quite a few decals to go in the interior actually, that's interesting, including those seat belts we saw before. The interior goes together quite simply then after that. Just the dash and steering wheel goes together and goes in. Front bucket seats go in and you're done there, aside from all the decals. Interior tub goes on the chassis. They show you how to detail the engine bay, put your glazing in, body goes onto the assembled chassis, and then you're assembling front end and trim, piecing together the intake system and radiator. Hood and front end then go on at that point. And we're on the home straight with detail placement, yeah, I mean mirrors and rear end going on, final trim essentially at that point. Cool. So then we have a nice colour sheet showing how to apply the exterior decals, and there's a lot. There's a lot. Some of them, interestingly enough, seem to be there to replicate things like a sort of a shadowed area behind that intake or outlet design on the side of the car there. But there's a whole host of decals going on there to detail it up. They're showing us the blue one with white stripes there, and then they show us the white one with blue stripes. And this one, they've put the custom wheels on as well, if you're a fan of that. This one has the stock wheels and tyres. This one has got those big chrome ones. I quite like that. Interestingly, there's a load of stuff in there that they don't really go into detail on the outside of the box, so you get more than you expect. That one cost me £27, which is not a bad price in the UK for a car kit these days. And there's quite a lot going on there. Some nice build options, a lot of nice detailed decals. I think it'll build up nicely. That's it. Revell's 1970 Pontiac Firebird in 1/24 scale. Thank you very much for watching.